This is Universal Studios Japan, and this is Universal Studios America. And today, we are here to find out what the difference is between the two. Now, as you can probably tell, we are here today at Universal Studios Hollywood in America, but I actually had the chance to visit Universal Studios Osaka in Japan a couple of years ago, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do a bit of a, comparison between the two. So the plan is simple. We are going to find out which one has the best rides, we are going to find out which one has the best foods, and we are going to have a good time while doing it. Let's go. In Japan, I think hands down the best ride that I went on was the flying dinosaur ride in the Jurassic Park area. And this was the ride where you're like strapped to the bottom and it literally goes so fast that they don't even allow you to carry anything in your pockets. But you can trust me when I say it was freaking crazy. Here in the US, we also have, a Jurassic Park area, but unfortunately we don't actually have the flying dinosaur ride. But we do have the standard basic Jurassic World ride. And it's been probably like 5 years since I've gone on this. So let's go see what it's about.
I think the last time I went on this Jurassic Park ride was when I was in high school, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that they had actually remodeled it and also added Chris Pratt. At Universal Studios Osaka, I believe they also have this exact same ride, but like I mentioned earlier, they also have the flying dinosaur there, so definitely a couple more ride options compared to Hollywood. If you go to the Universal Studios website, you can actually see the exact rides and attractions at each park, and while Universal Studios Osaka has a huge list of, I think, 58 attractions, including stuff like Jaws, Snoopy, and even a Kuromi concert, Hollywood has, 15 rides. The Japan park is overall also just a lot bigger and has almost everything Hollywood does and more. Though I will say, I do think the other American Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida is probably more comparable in size and attractions, so definitely take this comparison with a grain of salt. Outside of its 9 rides, Hollywood's main selling point is definitely its studio tour, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a shuttle that takes you around the back of the park and, shows you some cool sets and production effects that they have left over from the movies that were filmed there. It's a pretty sick experience, and if you're into learning the history of the park as well as, cool details from the movies, I would definitely recommend it. Though, I'm not even gonna lie, they were literally throwing in sponsored ad lines about their newest shows like every 5 seconds. A little bit off-putting, but it's okay, I can overlook that. Overall, I think my favorite ride at Universal Studios Hollywood is probably Revenge of the Mummy, which is a classic America exclusive, but up against the flying dinosaur in Osaka, it definitely pales in comparison, so just with that alone, as well as the huge diversity in rides and attractions, I'm gonna have to give this point to Universal Studios Japan.
Hello everyone, as you can see, we are moving on to our next section, which is rating the food at Universal Studios Hollywood. We are here at 3 Broomsticks in the Harry Potter land, or the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and as you can see, the food looks freaking incredible, but I do believe they also have one of these in Japan. The menu items are slightly different, but they're pretty much the same thing, butterbeer, we have the holiday roast, fish and chips, a bunch of desserts. I can't wait to try these, but yeah. Let's dig in here.
I don't know if it was because I hadn't eaten all day, or maybe it was just that Hogwarts magic, But this was legitimately one of the best meals I have eaten in any theme park ever. The meal I ordered was the holiday roast, and this was basically a classic holiday plate with roasted turkey breast, stuffing and gravy, roasted vegetables, bacon-wrapped sausage, and cranberry glaze. That first bite into the turkey breast was legit like melt in your mouth. Just super tender and flavorful, and paired with the gravy and cranberry sauce, oh my god, just chef's kiss. The other meals they had also didn't disappoint, and while I thought the fish and chips were overall a little bit basic, their desserts were fire. The first dessert I tried was this sticky toffee pudding, and while I'm, not the biggest fan of some of the classic British foods, this was absolutely life-changing. If you can imagine the smell of like a really nice candle shop, this was exactly what it tasted like. Moist sponge cake with sweet toffee sauce drizzled all over, little butterscotch chunks scattered around for texture, and topped with a nice cold scoop of vanilla ice cream. Just perfect. I will admit it was a little bit on the sweeter side, but with the salty butterscotch in between bites, no singular flavor ever felt like it was too overpowering. This was a straight 10 out of 10 for me. I also tried some of the butterbeer potted cream, and it was still good. A little too sweet maybe, but after tasting that toffee pudding, literally nothing else could compare. Finally, to wash it all down, of course we had to get this signature butterbeer, and as always, this was a certified butterscotch soda classic. Overall, even though I know Japan has their own 3 broomsticks, like I said earlier, according to the reviews on Google, apparently that one's not as good, and I don't know. This one was just so bomb to me, so we're giving this a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry, it is a little bit loud. They are playing music, but we just got our second food item here, which is from the Hello Kitty Cafe. This is the churro, and this is the Kuromi berry iced tea. I think Kuromi's on the back. I believe they don't have this Hello Kitty Cafe in Japan. They do have a separate Hello Kitty like corner food stall there that sells like hot chocolate and stuff, but yeah, this is America exclusive, so I wanted to give it a shot. I think instead of the Hello Kitty Cafe, they actually have like a specific Mario Cafe in Japan, which I did eat at.
Okay, sorry, quick correction. Apparently here in Universal Studios Hollywood, we do also have a Mario Cafe, but it's more of like a little tiny corner store than it is a place to dine. The menu items are also completely different than what you saw me eat in Japan, so yeah, not gonna be really that great of a comparison. Japan, of course, also has a bunch of their own exclusive stuff, like, the JJK food stall, and a one-piece meal, actually, just to name a few. But a good number of the other dining places and menu items are actually shared between all the different parks across the world, so now you know.
Yeah, this is the kind of equivalent, so we'll see if it's any better or not, right? So this is the churro. It's a little bit messed up here, but it's okay. I guess I'll just... Oh, what the heck? There's like jam filling inside. Honestly, not bad. It's like sweet / sour because of the fruit filling inside. It has like little sprinkles on the top, some cream as well, but I'm gonna be real, $8 for this? This thing is tiny. This isn't even like, this is like 9 inches. So is it worth it? I would say probably not, but at least it tastes good. Okay, let's wash it down with this berry iced tea. This is like blackberries, some mint on top, and it has like a little lining of, I don't know, is that like sugar or something? Let's see. That is so sweet. I should have known when it said have a very, very sugary day on the actual walls of the cafe. So it's like a blackberry iced tea, but it's so sweet. I don't know. I'd give this like a 6 out of 10. Overall experience of the Hello Kitty Cafe, it's cute. They didn't even have everything in stock though. I tried to get the macaron set. They said it was sold out, and the line, not too long, but didn't move very fast. No real seating available there. Super small, cramped area. This isn't actually even in the actual theme park. This is on the City Walk. So like it's a bunch of stores that lead up to the theme park. Now they did also have a Sanrio Smile Shop next door, which I did shop at. A bunch of Sanrio stuff, pretty cute. Unfortunately, zero Hangyodan items. So I'm gonna have to dock some points there, but is this better than the equivalent counterpart in Japan, which is the Mario Cafe? Honestly, I didn't really like the food at the Mario Cafe either, but this is definitely not better. So overall, I think for at least this comparison, Universal Japan will take the point here. But we have one more food item left to go, so see you guys there. Boom. All right, hello everyone. This is our third and final food item in the food category at the very least. And we are here in the Simpsons land, Simpsonsville, I don't know what it's called, but this is, I think, Lard's Donuts, Lard Lad's Donuts, as you can see. And we have the world famous giant donut from Universal Studios. Now, this is actually something that I believe is America exclusive. So yeah, if you take a look, this thing is freaking massive. I got the pink flavor. I think there is one that is like chocolate flavored, but supposedly this one is pretty good. So how do I even do this? I mean, it's a pretty good donut. It's very sweet, obviously, as you can tell. For its size, you know, it's still very airy. The bread is pretty light, and the cream isn't like too over the top, too like heavy either. So I'm not really, you know, a big donuts person, but this one's not that bad. I would give it a 7 out of 10. You want to finish this?
Finish it.
Okay, I will be finishing this donut later, but that was the third and final food category in, you know, Universal America versus Universal Japan. And honestly, Japan definitely has way more food options available. I feel they have a ton of diversity, bunch of like different food carts just around the park that you can get food from. But this is going to be a controversial take. I think that Harry Potter meal was probably the hands down best food I've ever eaten at a theme park. So I'm gonna have to give this point to Universal Studios America on the food, which is crazy, okay? It's just my opinion. You could sue me for it. Please don't sue me. I'm gonna give this one to America, which ties us up at 1-1. So with that being said, let's go to the third and final category for the tiebreaker. All right, so we've tested the food, we've tested the rides, and of course the final thing that I want to compare between Universal Studios Osaka and Universal Studios Hollywood is Super Nintendo World. Both of the parks actually have their own Super Nintendo Worlds, but there are, you know, some differences between the two, which we'll be exploring today. But I believe Super Nintendo World is actually a newer addition to Universal Studios Hollywood. I've never been inside of this one yet. When we went in Japan, it was one of my favorite parts of the park, so I'm very excited, but let's go in and see if Super Nintendo World Hollywood is any better.
If there's one thing Universal Studios gets right, it's the magic of their sets. The entrance of Super Nintendo World is literally a Mario pipe, and once you walk through it to the other side, you're greeted with this honestly incredible view of the entire area. I still remember the first time I ever saw this in Universal Studios Japan, and I would not be lying if I said that it was a breathtaking experience. I think both Universal Studios have pretty much the same props with stuff like mushrooms, Goombas, and piranha plants everywhere, but I'm pretty sure Japan's Nintendo World was actually considerably larger than the one in Hollywood. While both parks have the Toadstool Cafe, a gift shop, and the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Japan actually has an extra Yoshi's Adventure ride where you get a scenic tour of the area and view the props up close. Japan also has a food stand directly inside the Nintendo area, which I did eat at, by the way, and it was fire. But the Hollywood counterpart's food stand is located outside of the exit and also had a super long line, so unfortunately, we weren't able to try it. Bowser's Mario Kart Challenge is one of the most popular rides in the park, and when we went at like 1 p.m., it was packed. I think the wait time was over 2 hours, which is honestly just insane for a single ride, but thankfully we had the Express Pass, which did cut the line down to just about 15 minutes. The ride itself was pretty similar to the one in Japan, and honestly, this was probably one of the best rides in the park if you are a Mario Kart fan. It uses a really cool and immersive headset headset that allows you to see characters driving around you, and the goal is basically to just, well, beat the crap out of Bowser's team using turtle shells. Unfortunately, I think we lost, but hey, at least I came in first place. After the Bowser ride, I picked up a few items from the gift shop, and then we had our reservation at the Toadstool Cafe. This was something I was looking forward to a ton since it allegedly has really cool menu items, and since the line was so long in Japan, we weren't able to get in. This time though, there were thankfully some reservation slots available, so we managed to snag one and secure our spot in line. The cafe itself is shaped like a giant mushroom, and once you get in, you can order your food and wait to be seated. I can't be sure, but I'm like 99% positive they actually overbooked the cafe that day, since it took about 25 minutes to actually get through the line and order our food, and another 15 minutes of standing while holding our tray before we could even get seated. We should also keep in mind, this is with the reservation, so maybe it was a one-time fluke, but all I'm saying is, if you want to eat here, you better be prepared to be standing for a long time. Once you're seated, you still need to wait for the food to be prepared and come out, but thankfully that didn't take nearly as long. They also have some cool decorative details around the cafe, so hey, at least you have something to look at while you wait. We ordered the Superstar Lemon Squash drink, Piranha Plant Caprese salad, Toad's Specialty Mushroom soup, the Bowser Fireball Challenge, and a tiramisu block for dessert, which I know is a lot of food, but honestly speaking, all of it was pretty good. The Superstar Lemon Squash was like a lemon soda with popping boba and a ton of ice. The Piranha Plant Caprese salad was very fresh and gave us some much needed greens for the day. Toad's mushroom soup wasn't anything too special, just, a typical savory mushroom flavored soup with some croutons on top, but it did come with this cool souvenir bowl I got to take home. Bowser's Fireball Challenge was this massive meatball that was actually pretty spicy, and last but not least, the tiramisu dessert came in a cute power block shape, which, it was nice. All the food in terms of flavor and aesthetics definitely exceeded my expectations, and I also got a few souvenirs to take home, but if I had to say if that was worth waiting over an hour in line for, with a reservation as well by the way, it was most definitely not. Overall, the two Super Nintendo worlds actually both capture the magic of Mario pretty well, but because of the size difference and extra ride, I am going to have to give this final point to Universal Studios Japan.
Alright y'all, that is going to be a wrap on the day, and if you couldn't tell from the tallies, at least in my opinion, I do think Universal Japan comes out on top 2-1. So at the end of the day, does it really matter? Probably not. I feel like as long as you go to a park, you have fun, that's all you can really ask for, right? And what the park has is the food that great, the rides, it's a theme park, just go and have fun, and it's gonna be a good time. Now, a couple tips to keep in mind. Number one, of course, yes, this is only my opinion, comparing my experiences. I do feel like Universal Japan, I did have a little bit of a better time. It was a bit more smooth. I think the park layout definitely was a lot better than the one at Hollywood. I'm sure, you'll have your own experiences if you go to each separate park, and I'm gonna be real, probably you're not gonna be using this video as a comparison. Oh, should I go to, fly all the way to Japan to do, go to Universal Studios, or should I fly all the way to Los Angeles to come to this Universal Studios? This is just for fun. So number two, if you are going to go to any theme park, actually, I would consider getting Express or Fast Pass Lightning Lane, because this actually saved us so much time. We would have been standing in line for like 3 extra hours, maybe even more if we didn't have the Express lane. So definitely a huge lifesaver. I know it does cost a little bit more, but if you're coming to these parks anyway, you're probably paying a decent chunk of money. Might as well make the experience worth it. But just wanted to say thank you very much for making it to this point in the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching my experience and my day at Universal Studios Hollywood. So if you guys ever go, have a good time. Thank you very much for watching this vlog. And as always, stay safe. I will see you in the next video.